Good morning and a very warm welcome to the trading start of fashionette AG. The company is going public today at Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And you will be observing the ceremony here on the floor, on the trading floor. And the first price fixing we expected around 9:15. My name is Edda Vogt. I work for Deutsche Börse in the communication sector. And I will lead you through the ceremony in the next 20-30 minutes. Let's start with the company. Fashionette is a major online platform for premium and luxury fashion accessories, founded in 2008, 12 years ago. On the online store, it provides the German-speaking world with designer bags, shoes, accessories, and sunglasses, nice things, watches, and jewelry. The brand itself is the store. It's Fashionette, operating, addressing 8 countries besides Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, the European part, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. And the aim is to become a leading platform in Europe for premium and luxury accessories. There you see the CEO. He will be ringing the bell later as soon as the new price is fixed. It's Daniel Raab. But let's say a few words more about the company. The sense of the going public of the capital measurement is to get new capital, and the net proceeds will be used for long-term organic and inorganic growth. Half of it around for merger and acquisitions, the other half for geographic expansions, and a small part into the IT development of the platform. It will be listed in Scale. Scale is the segment in Frankfurt, the market in Frankfurt for smaller and mid-sized companies, SMEs or KMUs, as we tell them in Germany, and there you see some bags. I think it's a very nice thing that you have some haptic, some visual things when a company produces visual, touchable things to present them here in this rather abstract surrounding. And what you see in the back of the bell is our new LED wall. And it's used today actually for the first time, but I will say more about this later. So very welcome to all spectators that just stepped in here to the broadcast, the ceremony of the listing of Fashionette on Frankfurt floor this morning. You will be observing the first price fixing around 9:15. I will explain a little what's going on here and about the floor and the traders and the history and of course of the company. Fashionette, a major online platform for nice things like premium and luxury fashion accessories. There you see our little pet, the blue bull. It stands for optimism for the exchange itself. Somebody really nicely decorated it. It's our little symbol. Fashionette is a member of the Deutsche Börse Venture Network that has been created 2015, 5 years ago, to support smaller companies, SME, high growth companies in their early and later stages on the way to going public. And today, with Fashionette, we are celebrating the 9th IPO from the Deutsche Börse Venture Network since its existence 5 years ago. It has some 100+ members, as far as I remember. And if you are yourself in the business, in the startup business, or in the early stage business, and you're interested, just check out the website deutschebörse.com for the detailed information on Deutsche Börse Venture Network. Very welcome to all the spectators that just stepped into the going public ceremony for fashionette AG. The company is going public this morning on Frankfurt floor. What you see here is the new designed stage for IPOs, for opening bells. We have been reconstructing, we have been expanding the building in the last few years actually. If you ever renovated an older house, you know what it means. And behind, on the top, in the back of the trading hall, you see the new windows, the new balcony for events. It's ready now, but due to the special situation this fall, we cannot open as we wanted this month. And on the right side of the balcony, there's a new visitor center, which we also will open as soon as we can. And the great thing about it is that you can just visit Frankfurt as soon as we open. You can visit Frankfurt without notice ahead. You can just go in and conduct yourself. You can experience the new exhibition. It's about exchanges, the finance world, economy, and how you yourself can become an investor, which is a good thing to do. So stay tuned, subscribe our newsletter as soon as we can open up, which we all hope will be soon, but we really do not know when. And then you get an information and just step in and visit us. Okay, welcome to the newly joining spectators of the going public this morning of fashionette on Frankfurt floor. It is one of the last existing floors in the world, actually traders taking care of the order books of 1.5 million securities. The majority are certificates and warrants, but we have around 10,000 shares, equities. We have about 1,000 companies having their home market here. Either on one of the two platforms Deutsche Börse provides, either Xetra or the floor. And a home market is the place where you usually have your primary listing, and usually the order book turnovers are the highest. And all other places in the world which trade or offer your share for trading, use the home market, the reference market, as a guideline for their own prices. And that's Frankfurt will be, as of today, the home market for fashionette. The transaction was going public, an initial public offering, which means that they offered the shares, the part of the companies, the shares of fashionette to the public, not just to private, but to a larger group of investors. You could subscribe them via the exchange. We call that direct place. And that's placing a normal order, a buy order, ahead of the actual trading start of trading. What you see here is the guest book. The Bianca Böhm, the head of accounting of fashionette, earlier wrote something into our guest book. I cannot see from here what she wrote. It will be signed later. And as you see, it's just a few first pages, because we actually started with having a guest book not too long ago, which is strange. I don't know why nobody had the idea earlier, but if we would have started earlier in our history, it would be at least the 10th book or something, because this year trading of shares in Frankfurt actually turned 200 years. 1820, the Österreichische Nationalbank, it's the government bank, central bank of Austria today, but those days, 200 years ago, it was a publicly traded share with dividend payments on a weekly basis. and it was the first share listed here in Frankfurt. Welcome to all spectators of the IPO ceremony of fashionette this morning on Frankfurt floor. My name's Edda, and I will lead you through the ceremony, which I think, in my personal opinion, it's a really still very exciting moment for everybody here. For us, of course, but also most of all for the company. If you go public, that's really a hard work for at least half a year. First you have the idea, you check if you're ready, you search for advisors and banks to accompany you. You look if you have who might be interested as an investor. It's called pre-sounding. And then a little later you get into the subscription part, you do roadshows. But the moment the trading starts off your share, then it's out of your hands, because the market is evaluating your value. And that's, if you're here in the hall, you feel that excitement, and I hope the broadcast helps that you also get some imagination of it, some part of it. So the transaction type was a public offering, an IPO, an initial public offering, as it's called. The book building was 30 euros to 38. The shares were also placed via Börse Frankfurt. So they could, everybody that has a depot at a bank with access to Frankfurt as a trading venue could have subscribed the shares. What you see here is our newly built IPO stage. And on the right side, behind the monitor, with the phone on the desk, you see Silvio Bernhard. He's the specialist from Stäubing. He is taking care of the order book in the IPO process, and probably later in trading as well, of the fashionette shares. Every security has one order book. On the floor it is closed, and our other trading venue, Xetra, it is open actually. You can really look into the order book and see it. It's accessible via internet. Everybody can do that. It's interesting. You see there the limits of other traders and investors. On the left side you always have the price that's relevant if you're trying to sell, and there you see the offering of others to buy, and so it's your price if you're selling. That's the bid, Geld as we call it in German. And on the right side you have the ask, the brief. That's the price that's relevant for you if you're going to buy. And of course those are the orders of other investors that are willing to sell. And that's I would say, the core of an exchange. The prices are fixed by ask and offer. And in Xetra, the order book is open, and on the floor it's closed. And the technology behind this is T7, but the specialists here on the floor, they observe the price fixing. They check. I have a limit control system. The price that you enter an order with, that you want to pay at the most, or you want to have the least if you sell, that's called limit. So keep in your mind relevant prices if you are going to buy shares or fashionette, maybe. The left side is relevant if you're selling, and the right side is relevant if you're buying. We have around 60 workplaces here for specialists on the floor. During going public, during a start of trading, it's an auction. It starts with an auction on Xetra. It will last at least 15 minutes, and the specialist here, Silvio Bernhard from Stäubing, he will open up trading as soon as the first price is fixed on Xetra. Xetra is starting started trading now. It's 9 o'clock. On Xetra you have trading from 9 to 5:30 p.m. Sorry. It starts with an auction in the morning and it ends with an auction at 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon. On the floor you can trade all those 1.5 million securities from 8 to 8, most of them, a lot of certificates and warrants from 8 to 10 p.m. and most bonds, we have 26,000 bonds from 9 to 5:30. So there you see Kurt Gebhardt on the right side, leading with a blue tie. He's the Geschäftsführer, he's the manager of Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Behind him you see the CEO of fashionette, Daniel Raab, and they are going to the IPO stage. And the ceremony, the welcoming speeches will start very soon. On the left side, with the back to us, to the camera, it's Oliver Serg. He's in the supervisory board and he's part of Genui, an private equity company, a holding, and I think they have a nice claim. When I did some research for this morning, that to be entrepreneur is first of all supposed to be fun, which I think makes the job easier. Very welcome to everybody who just joined. We are observing the going public of fashionette AG, a major online platform, and there you see the CEO of fashionette AG, Daniel Raab, signing our guest book. And the man in the back with the red iPhone filming the situation with the hoodie, he's the CTO, Thomas Buhl. From fashionette. And thank you for his hoodie. It makes it easier for me to always recognize him, because the majority of the people here joining present on our IPO stage are wearing dark suits and sometimes colorful ties. Very welcome to everybody to the going public of fashionette AG. We are expecting the first price fixing around 9:15. There's an opening auction on Xetra. There you see Silvio Bernhard from Stäubing. He's the specialist taking care of the process here on the floor. And we're in the call moment. Call means until 9, let's explain it from the beginning. 7:30 until 9 you have pre-trading on Xetra, where the people can order, the members and you yourself via your online broker can enter orders into the order book. 9 o'clock trading starts with the call at an auction, with an auction. As I explained earlier, in the auction moment, the order books are closed. You could just get an indication to it's published of a range, of a matching range. It's closed. You can just delete your orders. You cannot. There's no execution. It's an auction like a general auction, as you know, maybe on eBay, something like that. And in the auction, the price will be fixed with the most turnover. Xetra has 3 auctions a day, regular auctions, one in the morning at 9, the starting auction, a midday auction around midday, and a closing auction at 5:30 p.m. The sense of the auctions is to bundle liquidity, to get most orders on one place, and the higher the liquidity is, the fairer the price and the smaller the spreads, the difference between the left side and the right side, bid and ask. There is you can enter actually an order just saying I want to be executed only in auctions. Auction only is the name of it. Not all depot banks, not all brokers offer it to their clients, but we offer it in the trading system. So you now at the moment, and one thing is important, the opening auction in the morning normally doesn't last until 9:15. It's just because we have a special situation with the IPO. That the regulations, the laws, they say that we have to have 15 minutes of time for everybody at a first listing, at a start of trading, at a go in public. Normally the auctions are not very long. If the market is calm, the calmer the market, the shorter they are. But sometimes maybe you observe that you don't have a closing price of the day until maybe 5:35 or something, of 5:40 in the afternoon. That's because the auction took longer, and maybe you observed that already, that you don't have a DAX, which is our major index here in Germany, not right away at 9 o'clock, but later. That's because the DAX is calculated out of 30 biggest companies listed here in Prime Standard, biggest by order book turnover and market capitalization in free float. And you need a certain amount of prices for these companies, for the shares in the morning to calculate a DAX. And sometimes if you have a troubled market, a volatile market, a stress situation, then you cannot get the prices right away. Because here in Germany we have on Xetra we have a system that's called volatility interruption to protect you as investors and as traders. And if a price would be too far away from certain points, from the last price maybe, it's too difficult to explain here, but to give you an idea, if the price is too far away, then you have a volatility interruption of at least 2 minutes. And then you have a small auction as well to start again to pick up trading. And that's to protect you from extreme movements, flash crashes as they are called. They cannot happen here on Xetra due to the volatility interruption. Of course, prices can fall very sharply, but then you have to have consequent price fixings, consequent orders that can be matched. Silvio Bernhard, the specialist from Stäubing, who's taking care of the IPO process this morning, he's just probably I assume, talking to market supervision and to the lead brokers that accompany, that helped fashionette to go public, to get an idea of the order book situation at this IPO auction this morning. Welcome to the, it's getting, there's a little movement happening. Welcome to the IPO of fashionette AG this morning. It's 9:09, as you all can see, on our new LED wall, which is being operated today for the first time. We worked a lot on this, and I hope you like it. And if you like it, please give us feedback. And I'm really happy that we have new technology, nice technology now here with the content management system to use this wall. And this is now a premiere for us. Welcome to all that just joined to the IPO of fashionette AG this morning. I'm accompanying you through the procedure. We will be having, we're on the call moment on Xetra. Call, Aufrufphase is the German word for this. There you see the management with a pink scarf. I think that's the name for it in his suit. That's the CEO of fashionette, Daniel Raab. Here you see Kurt Gebhardt. He's one of the managers of Frankfurt Stock Exchange. In Germany, exchanges are still a public thing. Öffentlich-rechtlich, we call it in German. I'm sorry, I don't have the English term at the moment. And out of history, exchanges are organized or controlled, not organized, controlled by the state ministers. In the case of Frankfurt, that's Hesse, and that's the Wirtschaftsminister of Hesse, Tarek Al-Wazir, and they give...
Herzlich willkommen zum Börsengang der fashionette AG. Der erste Quote in der fashionette AG ist 28 zu 32 Euro.
Silvio Bernhard, the specialist from Stäubing, he just called out the quote, which is the bid-ask quote in the closed order book of the floor trading. It's 28 to 32. It's also an indication published on Xetra. Kurt Gebhardt will welcome you now.
Guten Morgen auch von meiner Seite, sehr geehrter Herr Raab, sehr geehrter Herr Buhl, sehr geehrte Mitglieder des Aufsichtsrats und liebe Gäste. Im Namen sowohl des Vorstands der Deutschen Börse AG als auch der Geschäftsführung der Frankfurter Wertpapierbörse darf ich Sie heute ganz herzlich hier in Frankfurt auf unserem Parkett begrüßen, hier im Herzen des deutschen Kapitalmarkts und wie wir glauben auch am wichtigsten Finanzplatz jetzt in Kontinentaleuropa. Ich möchte wie immer auch all diejenigen begrüßen, die heute nicht physisch hier da sein können, sondern das auf dem Livestream verfolgen, insbesondere Ihre Mitarbeiterinnen und Mitarbeiter und alle, die bei einem IPO mitgewirkt haben, und das sind ja zahlreiche, die auch an diesem Ergebnis teilhaben können. Wir freuen uns, mit Ihnen das 9. Unternehmen aus unserem Deutsche Börse Venture Network begrüßen zu können. Das ist unser vorbörsliches Netzwerk für Gründer, junge Unternehmen und Wachstumsunternehmen. Wir sind besonders stolz und froh, Sie hier auf unserem Parkett feiern zu dürfen. Als eine der führenden europäischen Online-Plattformen bieten Sie Kunden ein virtuelles Kauferlebnis für Premium- und Luxusmodeaccessoires. Sie vereinen rund 150 Premium- und Luxusmarken mit rund 11.000 Produkten unter ihrem Dach. Das vertreiben Sie über insgesamt 8 Websites in europäischen Ländern und Kernstück Ihres Geschäfts ist die leistungsfähige IT und natürlich Ihre proprietäre Technologieplattform. Sie setzen sich auch hohe Wachstumsziele und haben die kommuniziert. Sie wollen nicht weniger als der Marktführer in Europa werden. Das hören die Investoren gerne. Hierfür soll der gesamte Nettoerlös aus dem Verkauf der von Ihnen platzierten Aktien zur Finanzierung des weiteren Wachstums Ihres Unternehmens verwendet werden. Mit der Notierung in Scale, das ist unser eigens für Wachstumsunternehmen geschaffenes Handelssegment, erfüllt die fashionette AG auch hohe Transparenzanforderungen, nämlich nach EU-einheitlichen Standards. Wir sind ein sogenannter KMU-Markt, da befinden Sie sich in bester Gesellschaft und das ist auch ein idealer Ausgangspunkt, um auch die Aufmerksamkeit von internationalen Investoren auf Ihr Unternehmen zu lenken und Ihre Wachstumsgeschichte fortzuschreiben. Das spricht für Ihren Anspruch, dass Sie sich diesen hohen Transparenzanforderungen stellen. Es freut uns sehr, dass Sie sich für einen Börsengang hier in Frankfurt entschieden haben und es macht uns auch stolz, mit Ihnen zusammen den Grundstein für Ihren nächsten Entwicklungs- und Wachstumsschritt zu setzen. Auch nach der Notierung stehen wir Ihnen zur Seite. Listed in Frankfurt, wie es hier heißt, das steht für Qualität, Liquidität und auch Internationalität. Wir feiern einen Neuzugang in Frankfurt mit dem Läuten der Börsenglocke. Herr Raab, das ist als Vorstandsvorsitzender Ihre vornehmste Aufgabe. Bevor wir aber dazu übergehen, erteile ich Ihnen erstmal das Wort. Von mir aus alles Gute, gutes Gelingen und gute Geschäfte. Vielen Dank.
You heard the welcoming speech of Kurt Gebhardt, Executive Manager Börse Frankfurt, Frankfurter Wertpapierbörse, as its official name. He will be followed by Daniel Raab, the CEO from fashionette. Take some time in those special
Guten Morgen.
moment.
Herr Dr. Gebhardt, vielen Dank für die Worte. Relativ wenig zu ergänzen, außer einen kleinen Wermutstropfen. Sehr, sehr wenige Mitarbeiter heute hier. Die Geschichte von fashionette begann 2008 und wir haben einige Mitarbeiter, die noch seit dem Zeitpunkt dabei sind. Und ihr seid diejenigen, die das heute ermöglichen. Und wir sind wirklich traurig, dass ihr nicht hier sein könnt. Es soll ein Ansporn sein, wir kommen zurück. Es gibt gewisse Möglichkeiten, ein Uplisting in den Prime-Standard, klar unsere Ziele auch dargelegt. Und zu dem Zeitpunkt werden wir alle sein. Olli, vielen Dank. Geni hat uns den Weg hier erlaubt, unsere Company an die Börse zu führen. Du begleitest uns weiter. Auch dafür vielen Dank. Thomas, zu dir nicht. Thomas, nicht viel zu dir, 15 Jahre, harte Zeit, immer mit mir, war eine große Zeit. Vielen Dank an alle, die mitgewirkt haben. Ja, ein paar sind hier im Raum, vielen, vielen Dank, großartige Leistung, ohne euch nicht möglich gewesen. Vielen Dank an Lieferanten, an alle Partner. Wir sind immer dafür da, unseren Kunden die beste Kundenerfahrung zu bieten. Und das ist das einzige Ziel, was wir haben. Und glaubt mir, dann werden wir hier tolle Börsenkurse realisieren können. Das einzige Ziel wird es bleiben, mit vielen, vielen tollen Tagen, vielen tollen Wochen und heute einem tollen Start. Vielen, vielen Dank.
That was a very emotional moment, I think, and overall, thank you to all employees that helped to get fashionette here on the Frankfurt floor to this IPO ceremony, and very soon we will have the first prize.
Meine Damen und Herren, darf ich um Ihre Aufmerksamkeit bitten? Der erste Preis in der fashionette AG, 29 €. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Listing in Frankfurt.
Daniel Raab is ringing the bell. First price is fixed. Successful, going public here on Frankfurt floor. Hard time. Great thing. That was Thomas Buhl, CTO of fashionette, ringing the bell, and congratulations from us to fashionette for successfully going public here on the floor.
Erster Preis in Frankfurt, 29,80 €. Ich muss nur an die Glocke.
That was Oliver Sack, the supervisory board member from Genui, the private equity company, ringing the bell. a very warm welcome of us from Börse Frankfurt to fashionette AG, now listed in Scale, our growth segment for SMEs, for small and medium companies. And again, congratulations to fashionette AG. This is a tough thing to do, lots of work and very exciting, and we wish them all the best for their business. Listed in Frankfurt. This is now the traditional picture time. Pictures you will get later on our social media channels, the internet, everywhere. And again, congratulations to fashionette AG for the successful going public this morning, getting listed, getting traded on the Frankfurt floor, and of course on Xetra, those two venues. We welcome them to Scale and wish them all the best, as well as everybody here. And thank you for joining, and hope to see you, to hear you soon again at another ceremony here on the Frankfurt floor.